welcome to the Indie Author Mindset podcast. It's going to be a bit of a different episode this week. Not that I've ever got really a set format, and things do tend to change from week to week as it is. But it's fair to say that we live in some very uncertain and completely unprecedented times. As I record this on Tuesday morning of this week, 24th of March, we have just gone into lockdown here in the UK because of the COVID-19 coronavirus. We are not allowed to leave our houses. We are not allowed to congregate in groups of more than 2. All of the shops are shut. Playgrounds are closed. And this is all for a minimum of 3 weeks. I know measures have been put in place in lots of countries around the world, so this is probably not going to be news to many people. There are still some countries which are very much behind the curve in terms of action being taken, but this, if it hasn't already happened to you, is going to be happening to you very, very soon. I will be going nowhere. I intend to continue this podcast as long as I am fit and well, which I hope to be for some time to come, and I'm going to do all I can to help you guys through this and make the most of the situation as we find ourselves in it, because we are all in it, regardless of which country we live in and what measures have been taken where we are. This is affecting all of the world and will continue to get worse and affect the world for quite some time to come. I want to spread positivity though. I want you to let me know good things that people are doing, particularly in our industry, or things that people in our industry can make use of. So let's make this a place where we cheer people up and do good things. On that note, earlier this week I made my Productivity for Writers course completely free. That was in response to a thread that popped up in the Indie Author Mindset Facebook group, where a number of writers were talking about how they found it impossible to be productive and to sit down and write with all of this going on and different things going through their minds. And I know that feeling completely. I'm very much there myself, and we've all got much bigger concerns than writing stories right now. But writing is important. It's important for us. It's a therapy, as we all know, and it's a vital way of us getting through this. We are also helping readers get through it. We are providing them with entertainment. We're providing them with escapism, which is a word I've heard so much over the last few days, more so than any time before in the last 10 years. People are talking about escapism and wanting to get away from what's going on at the moment. A lot of readers telling me that. So our job suddenly becomes much more important. And in a world where, particularly here in the UK, people are being told not to go to work, they're being furloughed, they have no idea if or when they're going to get any money, if they're going to earn a salary at all this year. People don't know what's going on. They're very, very uncertain. Things are very up in the air for everybody. So suddenly, writers who were the people who had the up and down incomes, who didn't know what was going to happen from one month to the next, we're actually looking like we've got far more stability than the rest of the world at the moment. So let's use that. Let's take the positives from that, and let's move forward. So if you're struggling to be productive, that Productivity for Writers course, which is normally $50, $49, it's now free, completely free for everybody. I've set it free for a week, but I will extend that if necessary, because it is having a lot of take up and it's helping a lot of people. So I think I will probably end up extending that for as long as it needs to be. It will help you become more focused and productive. It will help you to put the horrors of the world at the moment behind you and to focus on writing and getting those words down. You can go to courses.indieauthormindset.com, find the Productivity for Writers course, and if you use the promo code Let's Write, all in capitals, all in one word, LETSWRITE, use that at the checkout, and that will make the course completely free. Please do tell all of your writer friends about this. We want it spread far and wide. We want to help as many people as possible. Post it in self-publishing groups, writing groups, on your Facebook profile, wherever. But please spread that offer, spread the love, because God knows we need it right now, don't we? Some tips I would give you if you are struggling to focus, you're struggling to be productive, I would say focus on the here and now. The world has changed forever. There's no getting away from that. I'm not being over dramatic. The numbers are rising heavily and will continue to rise. This is, I've had some pretty depressing conversations with my wife, who was originally a medical virologist. So she's known for some time what's coming and how it's going to build, and the fact that we've not even begun yet. We have not even begun yet. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. But there's no point yearning for how things were. No point worrying about how they're going to be in the future, because the past is done. It can't be changed. The future hasn't happened yet and might not happen. Who knows? So the only moment that matters is now. Focus on the moment that you're in. If you want to do some more reading into that, if that sounds like something that appeals, look up apps like Headspace, look up mindfulness, and the whole concept of just being present. And if you are off work because of the virus, if not because you've got it, but because workplaces are being shut down, they're being told not to work, if that's the case and you're at home, if you're isolating, this is a great time to really focus on your writing career. Just think of it as an opportunity. It's a once-in-a-lifetime gift. You can look at it that way. You're being told not to work, but to stay at home and do what you want to do. So grasp that opportunity with both hands. Use this as an opportunity to move your writing career forwards, to lose yourself in stories, or to focus on, advertising courses, or other things that you can do to work towards your writing career. Because lots of writers complain about not having the time, especially when they're working full-time jobs elsewhere. But now, one thing we do have is time. There have been lots of people in the industry being very, very helpful. ACX announced just the other day that they are offering additional royalty support. I'll read their statement. To reduce the financial impact of COVID-19 on the creative community, say ACX, we are temporarily paying an additional 5% royalty on all sales of your ACX audiobooks through Audible, Amazon and iTunes for sales during the months of April, May and June. If you distribute your title exclusively through ACX, your total royalties will temporarily increase to 45% during this period, and 22.5% for those choosing royalty share. And for non-exclusively distributed titles, your total royalties will temporarily increase to 30% on sales during this period. So thank you very much to the team at ACX there for that offer. Audio earnings through ACX will be increasing by 5%, regardless of whether you're exclusive to them or not. So wonderful news there for writers, and hopefully that will provide a little extra income and a little extra security. Facebook ads, they're saying it will take a little longer to approve new ads because of staffing levels at the moment due to the virus, but I've personally seen ads going through quicker than before, particularly over the last couple of days. Perhaps this is because bigger companies are advertising less and many of the big advertising agencies aren't working at full tilt, but I do still expect, now that shops are closing, that these big companies will have to fulfill their obligations and get their business in online. They don't have the high street stores anymore, but I think that will be delayed, that effect. I think they are having to adjust their practices. First of all, the fact that everything is suddenly going online overnight means their warehouses, their systems won't be up at full capacity. They'll be struggling to maintain the orders they've got, so they won't be advertising as much at the moment, which means that advertising space on Facebook should become cheaper for authors. So perhaps take advantage of that now, because I fully expect those costs to go up when the big companies do get their acts in gear, do have the capacity to fulfill more online orders and start to advertise more themselves. On the sales front, when it comes to books, MPD BookScan reported the number of physical sales of books sold dropped 10% last week. The article that I read said MPD BookScan, which tracks around 85% of physical sales, reported big drops in children's fiction and adult non-fiction books. The biggest gains were in non-fiction books for kids, notably workbooks purchased by parents whose children are now home from schools that have been closed. Here in the UK and in many other countries around the world, bookstores are closed, and this will turn many people digital, particularly if they're worried about getting books delivered to them, because lots of people are worried about, for example, contamination of parcels. And let's face it, digital books are also much cheaper at a time when people are worried about money. So this is a great opportunity for authors. But please let me add a huge caveat. Please do not use this as a business opportunity as such. This is far, far bigger than that. And we need to be far, far bigger than that. I've seen authors posting on social media or running ads saying, "You're stuck at home for a while, so buy my books. They're all up at full price, go and buy them." It's crass and insensitive. That is using this pandemic as a marketing opportunity. I've seen course providers saying, "We want to help you at this difficult time, so we're going to let you pay exactly the same amount of money, but you just get to spread it over a longer period of time." I've seen coaches saying, "This is a great time to learn to write or to self-publish, so come and do some coaching with me, and hey, here's 5% off for your trouble." Guys, we live in unprecedented times. Don't just wheel out the same old marketing machine and expect it to work. It won't. The world has changed. We need to change. There is a huge social media shitstorm going on right now against companies and businesses who are being opportunistic during this pandemic. People will remember whether you were opportunistic or altruistic and generous during this pandemic. Be remembered for the right reasons and not the wrong ones. Now, I did say I want to spread positivity, so please do let us know the good things that people are doing. Let's make the Indie Author podcast, let's make the indie publishing community a place where we cheer people up. That is largely our job now. And if you are struggling to write, and if you do want to spread the love a little more, then do check out that completely free Productivity for Writers course. It's normally $50. It's now absolutely free for the foreseeable future to help you start writing, to get productive, to boost your morale, to just to give you that motivation to get going. Completely free. Absolutely no obligation whatsoever. That is yours. It is everybody's. Anybody who wants it. It will help you become more focused and productive. Go to courses.indieauthormindset.com. Use the promo code Let's Write at the checkout, and that will make the course completely free. So do please spread that around. Post it in any writing groups you're on in Facebook, any self-publishing groups. Tell your writer friends. Put it on Twitter, put it on social media, and get that out there so we can help as many people as possible. Yes, it is losing me money, but to be quite honest with you, I don't care. I want people to be writing, to be happier, to be more motivated, and to get something out of what is a worldwide crisis. So please do spread the love, because we need it right now. I've been waffling on for far too long, probably sounding far too maudlin, but I hope I'm not. Just want to put a few kind of cursory warnings out there and try to steady the ship a little bit and make sure that we all head in the right direction through this. I will be back next week, hopefully, trying to get things a bit more back to normal. Of course, we will be focusing largely on how the coronavirus pandemic affects writers, how it affects the publishing industry, and how we can chart our way through these waters. Please do let me know how it's affecting you, whether you've seen sales going up or down, advertising costs going up or down, if readers are reacting differently, things that you spotted, if you've seen things like ACX offering 5% extra royalties, if you've seen other companies doing those sorts of things, or if you're involved with one of those companies and you're doing those sorts of things, please do let me know. And I will promote that and push that on this podcast, and hopefully start to spread a little more of the love around. But until next week, please do keep your chins up, please do keep writing, and please do stay safe. This episode of the Indie Author Mindset podcast was presented by me, Adam Croft. The Indie Author Mindset podcast is sponsored by Ingram Spark, helping you get your book into over 40,000 bookstores and libraries worldwide. Get started today at ingramspark.com. The theme music for this podcast is by the Caesareans. Don't forget you can claim 50% off any Indie Author Mindset course by entering the promo code podcast at the checkout. Links are in the show notes. For more great tips and guidance, join the Indie Author Mindset group on Facebook.